Tonight, on the Bubblecast, Fight Night Weekend. In nearly 2 years, one of Ultimate Fighting greatest champions, the legendary John Bones Jones, made his return to the octagon and put on a clinic in a dominating career, ending TKO win over Stipe Miocic. Can Jones be considered the greatest of all time? In other combat sports news, in A&T Stadium, Jake Paul and his MVP promotions received a mixed reception with his mega fight versus Iron Mike Tyson. Paul, for better or worse, is now boxing's biggest draw, and only one question remains. Who's next for the problem child? We are joined tonight by returning special guests,
Infamous G.
and the guys will recap the latest primetime games from a wild NFL Week 11. The Bubble staff has chosen, and we'll kick off the show with the top 3 plays of the week. This and more tonight on the Bubblecast, unbiased, unfiltered, and unleashed with D&E.
What's up? Welcome to the Bubblecast with your host D.
Boy, Big Money E, what's happening?
And Greg here today.
Special guest in the house, Infamous, aka Greg, is in the house. Joining us again on another special podcast. Let's get right into it, Bubblecast Nation. It's been a wild week in sports, comeback, NFL. Let's take a look at the top plays of the week. Let's get into it.
The Bubblecast top 3 plays of the week. At number 3, Zach Twinkle Toad Ertz.
Downfield, can somebody get open? Well, not yet. Adrian Hill just announcing this is under review.
Beyond that, but look at this guy. Look at the effort. 34-year-old guy, former Eagle.
At number 2, the Tennessee Titans.
Levis, take a shot. He's got West Buckinghammer. Busting free. And the Tennessee Titans right back in it. 98 yards.
And at number 1, I'll do it myself, Josh Allen.
Takes left, now taking off. Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10 to 5! Oh, the play of the year in the NFL!
The Bills are great.
Plays of the week. Highlighting the last week, 2 weeks in sports and NFL, Josh Allen with the top play. We had NFL action this past weekend. Let's kick it off with the game of the week, I think. Let's go with the Ravens Chargers.
Takes off. He's got it. Touchdown, Chargers. First down and goal. Jackson keeps. Jackson to the edge. Touchdown, Ravens. That is rushing touchdown number 3 on the year for Lamar Jackson. And Jackson, it took him 10 yards, and it was a typical number 8 run.
Well, this is why the Baltimore Ravens are the number 1 red zone offense, because they have Lamar Jackson, and he's the biggest red zone weapon that you're able to do things like this with him that you just simply can't do with other quarterbacks. And they get out and get a good block by Isaiah Likely on the edge.
Good protection, aired out. Bateman downfield, and he has got it for the touchdown. You saw the flag. That call is against the Chargers, and this touchdown will stand.
Christian Fulton was in a great position. He just could not locate the ball. What a great job by Rashad Bateman.
Pass interference, number 7 defense. Penalties decline. Results of the play, touchdown.
You said it, Joe. The penalty on Fulton, but they got the one-on-one. But with that said, Fulton's in a great position. He plays this perfectly. He's riding him up on the high-angle post or corner, and he just could not get situated to try to turn and locate the ball.
End zone. Catch
touchdown. And now the officials get together. The Ravens are all signaling touchdown, and now we're going to have a conference. We think it's a touchdown up here, and now they think it's one down there. Touchdown, Andrews. Well, they had the right call. Chargers did. They were doubling Andrews and just not played particularly well. Obviously, he's got the ball. He's able to fight back and make a play on it. And a clear catch. And the Ravens will go for two. They just got crossed up. Both of them played one side and allowed them to get the play. They already lead by 7. They roll out right. And off the hands of Flowers. Didn't look like much now. 3rd down and 6. Herbert. And a drop by Johnston. Here is Hill. He gets the first down. And on he goes. Inside the 10. End zone. Touchdown. Justice Hill. They go motion with Flowers across, and you're going to see what's happening here, and they're trying to communicate it out. They don't quite get situated. Lohi Gilman comes up, takes a bad angle. He's a little tight.
He threw for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. This was Baltimore's first complete game I think they had all year.
Yeah, man. And like I say, man, going forward, man, like they done losses against some big teams though, man. Coming forward, man. Even bad as Cincinnati been doing, man, they lost to Cincinnati. You know, they won against Cincinnati 2 times, but they defense gave up 5 touchdowns to like Jamar Chase, where he gave up 5 the first game and then 4 the second game. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they coming together a little bit more, but man, it's coming down the stretch. We only got a few more weeks for the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And so they need to come on, man, with it, man, with their offense. And like you said, this is the best game they done had all season, man. So going forward, man, going deep into the playoffs, you got to play against teams like Kansas City, man, and, you know, big teams like that, man. And so they got to step their game up.
Yeah, but it seems like they can't get over the Pittsburgh hump, Kansas City hump, you know, and Cincinnati always push them to the limit. Cincinnati not looking like they're gonna make the playoffs, so they may have to worry about down the stretch. They gotta face Pittsburgh, and they eventually got to beat Kansas City.
So don't count out Buffalo neither, though. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you can't count out Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo did the one thing they couldn't do this year, and that's beat Kansas City. You know, although that game was in Buffalo, I guess you got to wait to see what's gonna happen down the stretch because that championship experience comes in. Kansas City got a few guys coming back for injured reserve, and they signed some key acquisitions. Again, Hunt, Hopkins, they go on play a big role down the stretch.
Kansas City will repeat because that's the franchise they want.
Hey, man, if they do that, man, if they do that, they'll do something New England never did, man. You know, say go undefeated. Well, not undefeated no more, saying Buffalo, you know, beat them, you know, you know what I'm saying, a while back. But if they can do the 3-peat, man, they'll do it. They'll accomplish something that New England could never do. You know what I'm saying? They won back to back, but they never did a 3-peat. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be tough, man, going down the stretch with Kansas City, man. They not even having their best season this season. You know what I'm saying? And they rusty, and they still find a way to win, man. And that's gonna go to show, man, what they can do in the playoffs, man. You gotta step up and try to beat them guys.
3, 2, 1.
All right, guys, time's up. Next topic.
All right, we heard the balls. Time's up. Man, another NFL game that was out there. It wasn't, although it's close, as exciting as the Ravens versus Chargers. It was a Sunday night game. We had the Rams game, and they came up short. You know, let's check it out.
Kevin Dotson, and he's going to have to win this one-on-one, and he does. Comes right out, gets the movement back into the end zone, And I tell you, the Eagles' defense has not come close to stopping the Rams. They had the one fumble, but other than that.
3rd and 6. Rams bring in 5. Hurts will go down. This front for the Rams has been terrific. There's 3 seconds left. Their adjustments will wait. It's the Eagles beginning at their own 30 with Saquon Barkley as the running back. He's set it for his big opening. Barkley let loose. Saquon will take it the distance. Touchdown. Terrific blocking up front. And Barkley goes 70 to extend the lead.
The adjustment was they were going to bring Michael Hoyt up and do a 5-man line. We're going to stop Saquon with a 5-man line. And on the very first play, led by Landon Dickerson's block, it was gone. Watch Dickerson come out here onto this second level and just get rid of Hoyt and then plant Omar Speights, and Saquon did the rest.
And 1 foot in the ground, the move, and Chris, it is that back with the power and the acceleration still to keep the music going. That's why Rodgers was in. He was flagged for the penalty. 2nd and goal, Stafford, end zone touchdown. Held on to by Demarcus Robinson, and the Rams respond with 6.
Because they just have not had a chance to see him in this combination. So you could just write it down. They're still going to attempt to run the football, but they are going after Rodgers the rest of this game.
And the Eagles back in the red zone. Gainwell inside. It is Gainwell to the end zone. Philadelphia touchdown.
Well, Gainwell in the game last week hopped a couple of traps and type stuff.
He's 6 yards shy of a career high for rushing yards, and he's got it, and he's got more, and he's gonna go all the way. What a night! What a season! What a player!
You get all the linemen and the tight ends going to the left. You have the threat of Jalen Hurts going the other way, and you have the speed of Saquon Barkley when he gets in space. And this looks like a replay of what happened against Washington.
Yep.
Washington's hanging in there, fighting their tails off. I still think led towards by Jalen Carter.
Beautiful throws by Stafford to Cooper Kupp for the touchdown. Matthew delivers on cue.
And when he uncorks that thing, the safety just has no time to make the break. He's inside position on Quinyon Mitchell, and the safety can't get there.
Fake, and it's over the top throw behind Nakua. And the conversion's no good with 1:07. Andy to do a thing.
Working it. He's going to carry your back.
Not a chance. Our entire team. Mike Black, Mark Amento, Brandon Glass with us. Wade Junko as well. And a 37-20 Philadelphia win. The Eagles to 9-2. The Rams fall to 5-6.
Eagles looked it pretty much unbeatable that game Sunday night. Barkley, what can you say enough? Over 300 yards of total offense, 2 touchdowns. He basically won the game by himself.
Can't believe we gave him up. Giants. It was terrible.
Yeah, I gave him up pretty much for nothing. And then
That's why I don't even watch football much. We have my favorite team in the NFL. But I saw the stadium, the Rams stadium, when I was in LA. I was staying in LA. But I don't know if that game was playing on. I was there. But I don't think the Rams are doing anything this year.
Yeah, for the most part, it was immature of what I thought was immature at the end of the game. You see Jalen Hurts get a lot of heat. They saying that he's not, the big playmaker in Philly, but he out there with his camera phone out there. Why'd you do with your camera phone out there on the field? But that kind of sour the win with the immaturities of Hurts. But you saw Colt McCoy bash him on his podcast, say, "Hey man, anybody can basically be the quarterback of the Eagles. Just hand the ball to Barkley. He basically just bash Hurts."
Hey man, I'm gonna just tell you like this, man. Saquon Barkley, man, I don't know what the hell happened to that Rams defense, but man, that boy, I haven't saw a running back have a game like Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, that dude ran all over them guys, man. Even the supporting cast of running backs had big plays, man. And boy, it was just crazy, man.
Oh yeah, he overpowered him. I mean, from start to finish. I mean, and when you focus on Saquon, that opens up to AJ Brown. Had a big monster game. He's like a tackling breaking machine, they call him, because his yards after catch, he averaged like maybe 6 yards after the catch. It means that no one's tackling Brown. I think unfortunately we asked, is Philly the team of the East?
All right, guys, time's up. Next topic.
Oh,
Next.
out of time.
Yeah, I guess we out of time. We heard the balls. But moving on to the overall month in sports, they had a big fight weekend the week prior. We had a Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. Let's check it out. We got a couple highlights from it.
After 10 full rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. All three judges see the contest 95 to 94, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed super lightweight
Texas has always been a cauldron of controversy, and I cannot sit here and it's just, I mean, you cannot take anything away from Katie Taylor and her legacy. But my God, how does one rob Amanda Serrano after a bravura performance like that, Rosie?
I think this is going to be an asterisk on Katie Taylor's legacy. I thought Amanda Serrano won the fight not just because she's a Boricua. I'm just saying that she was a warrior.
To 113, a draw. This bout has been ruled a split draw. Mario is still the WBC welterweight champion of the world.
So I guess we were right, Floyd.
Just like after Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano 2 years ago in MSG, the immediate question was when do they run it back? The same has to be said here after this split draw.
Raising 79 to 73, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Jake
Well, it happened. Jake Paul beat Mike Tyson. And the crowd here wondering what to make of it all, Rosie.
Let's get right into it. We all know what that Tyson fight was about. Tyson won the first 2 rounds convincingly. It seemed like he kind of slowed down. People can say it was fixed, it was staged, but we already know what it was. Going into this fight, we know Paul was going to win. But let's talk. I thought the fight card, all but that first fight, was pretty solid. I think Serrano got robbed. She should have won that fight by unanimous decision. It was a overall robbery in her fight. And those 2 guys that fought, was the match of the night. I mean, it was
Mexico
worth
versus Mexico.
price of admission.
Mexico versus Mexico was the best fight.
Yeah, it was the best fight, hands down, the best fight. Both players brought it. I mean, Pink Gloves, like he had it early on. He had a couple of knockdowns. I think officially that first knockdown they called it a slip by the other fighter, but I think it was the best fight of the night.
Yeah, it was surprising. A lot of suspense. You just didn't know what was next. Even when they went to the scorecard.
Yeah, pretty much. It was all around a good fight overall, I think. Jake Paul's MVP Productions may have more future fights planned for Netflix, but I think got to do a little bit more better with the judging. Overall, it's worth the price of admission. If you pay for Netflix, this is worth it. I see a lot of people complaining about the buffering, but to me, it was pretty solid.
Well, Mike kind of humiliated himself in the way his brother Logan Paul talked to him at the end. I just never seen Mike put his head down like that.
He know what it was. It was payday. $20 million.
Yeah.
Fight. He couldn't uppercut. His famous punch. 14-inch padding on the gloves. We already knew what that fight was going into. I think had Paul ego not been in the way, they could have made it at least 3-minute rounds. So those 2-minute rounds, we already knew what it was.
Yeah, it was kind of like I didn't take that fight serious.
Man, that was from the start. $1 million deal, man. Somebody paid for the I think I probably would have took it too.
3, 2, 1. All right, guys, time's up. Next topic.
All right. Moving on to comeback weekend, one of the last fights of this past month was the return of Bones Jones, one of the greatest fighters in UFC history, put on a clinic Friday, Saturday. I mean, we got some highlights of it. And I know a lot of people may say, hey, you didn't show any highlights of the fight. Okay, one, UFC will copyright your ass. They will copyright your ass left and right. And two, want to pay respect to Masalik. Even though he had the loss and announced his retirement, he's still a 2-time heavyweight champ. One of the best fighters in UFC history. I just want to pay a little respect for him overall. But it was a dominating fight for Bones Jones. The man he ain't fought in like 18 months. Was it almost 2 years? And he came out there like he ain't missed a day.
Man, that's what it do. Come out, man, like last few matches he fought in, man. People thought he was gonna be aggressive, man, overweight, man. That dude came in, bro. Like, ain't nobody touching him. Like, I give all the man. He did his thing, but bro, man, Jones is straight power, and he used all the power and force against Stipe. Stipe couldn't even do that with it, so then got hit with the swing kick at the end to the ribs. I think he broke a few ribs on that kick.
He did.
Yeah, I heard something crack. I was like, it was so loud. That kick was just terrible.
Oh yeah, man. I couldn't look at it a second time because that first time I saw the footage, like the left side of his rib caved in. I'm like, God damn. Whew.
But Jones did say that's like one of the strongest kicks in the UFC and martial arts overall. So hey, he caught him with a good hit. It was unexpected. Caught him good, man. And won the fight.
I guess what's next for UFC? Jones moves up. The weight game. A lot of people talking trash behind it. Kobe was talking trash about him, talking about wife beater, he's dodging everybody, I think right now
What
you
you
got to
talking
pay
about? Joe?
Yep.
Oh nah, he don't want no smoke with. I think they trying to get Francis and Ngannou and John to fight. They've been calling each other out for years, man. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to make that fight happen.
They need to. I mean, UFC right now, even though they had like the night to themselves Saturday, but the talk about the Combat Sports Weekend was Jake Paul MVP production. A lot of people may be envious of that success, but eventually he's gonna have to fight someone really, really in a prime, a real boxer. And again, all respect to Jake Paul, the businessman. But as far as Jake Paul, the boxer, he's gonna fight somebody for real.
Well, Jake Paul, he lives in Puerto Rico. He only represents Puerto Rico because he's not getting taxed on his earnings. That's the only reason why he's there. He's not from Puerto Rico.
Man, I guess
he's using a loophole to keep his money.
Oh,
That's why if you look at Tyson's net worth, half of his money is taxed on that fight anyway. So he really can make 20 million for like 10.
I still take that $10 million.
Yeah.
I think that in Texas is no state tax. I don't think so. You just paying the federal.
Well, if he lives in New York, it's state tax.
Oh, it is.
There's a lot of taxes in New York.
I'll still take that $10 million though. The dance around for 2 rounds, 8 rounds. And Tyson had him that first 2 rounds. I guess Jake Paul, when he wrapped him up, he was like, "Hey man, remember you got to lose."
Oh, Jake Paul trying to make a point that boxing is rigged. He's doing it himself.
Yep.
And the guy said, "Hey, we would be in jail if the fight was rigged. Why are they not in jail?"
It wasn't too much to say it was a rig. It was more like the exhibition fight. It was like an exhibition fight. Everybody knew what was going to happen. He was going to win by unanimous decision. All that talk about a brutal knockout was just talk. Because if you put 14-inch padding on the glove and the regulation glove is 10-inch, then you ban Tyson from doing the uppercut. That means you're afraid of getting hit for real. So it was more like an exhibition. But sold the fight again was the 2 fights, the 2 undercards. I'm not talking about that BS first fight. That was BS. But the girls and the 2 Mexican Americans fighters, outstanding. Can't wait for them to have a second battle.
But their girls were smaller than the one Jake Paul and Tyson.
Yeah,
they really got cut.
14-inch padding. So I mean, yeah. All right, I guess moving on to. I know E had a special Bust Your Bubble of the Week set up. Let's get right into it. The Bust Your Bubble of the Week.
A passenger, or I run your shit over like a massive truck, and you left with the questions you asking us. Man, I'm rough with your bubble, it has to bust. Man, I'm rough with your bubble, it has to bust. Man, I'm rough with your bubble, it has to bust. Man, I'm rough with your bubble, it has to bust.
The Bust Your Bubble of the Week.
Lakers home games. That he's only going to kind of be a part-time G League player, and he's not getting on United Airlines and going to fly and go see these other teams, these playing these road games. Because honestly, like, I know he was getting so much special treatment and nepotism. That's fine. Honestly, I don't care. Like I said, it's normal. Now I think it's actually detrimental to him. I don't like that. I don't know whose idea it was. Obviously, the Lakers are fine with it. They're doing it. I've now, on this particular instance, I think that's gone too far, and I don't think that benefits Bronny. I don't think it benefits the South Bay Lakers, and I don't think it benefits LeBron at that point. I think it'd be much better if Bronny was a more developed player by February or March by playing in G League road games. From my understanding,
this is a dumb Queen of Hearts. That's how you know it's gonna be a good segment. Now get this. We got to talk about something. Kevin Durant's agent, Rich Kleiman, he had a post in October on negative coverage in sports that had prompted LeBron James to say this yesterday on social media. He said, And with that said, I'll holler at y'all. Getting off social media for the time being. Y'all take care. Peace sign, king sign. 14 million views. Can I say something, y'all, in the locker room? Man, it's just y'all I'm talking to. Yeah. I know the camera's not even here. Why do people always feel the need to announce their departure on social media? If you leave in social media, just leave social media. You don't have to announce when you leave in the group chat. You can just leave the group chat. And we gonna see you ain't responding no more. You ain't got to broadcast it to the world.
So LeBron James said yesterday, I am taking a break from social media. He said, it's just too negative. I'll haul at you down the road, getting off social, take care. Damn shame what it's come to. So LeBron can't control X. Okay, and LeBron, first of all, is a 40-year-old man with a great family and a business, full-time job. He shouldn't be on social media that much. Once you're in your 40s or close to your 40s, running a big business with a big family, it doesn't drive the revenue for his business. Shoes do, production company does. That would sell for $500 million today. His annual salary of almost $40 million. LeBron has also had a lot of control in his life over the Heat, over the Cavs, over the Lakers, over the NBA. He's had massive leverage, and I don't resent any of it. He has earned all his leverage. Been a fan since LeBron came into the league. And he's also used social media platforms since day one to stay relevant, to, promote his businesses, to help his empire. Certainly granular improvement, but he helps promote his businesses. He gets the game of social media. So to suddenly be deeply offended by the hellscape known as X, it feels kind of Hollywood. It's like that crazy aunt you have who suddenly at 55 announces, I'm no longer writing the family newsletter. Okay, Margot, we know you're into it. Just take a deep breath, couple of weeks off. The newsletter will arrive, and LeBron will come back. Meet friends, promote your business. People aren't picking on Bronny. He's a 6'1", two-guard. They don't exist in the sport. And many believe used your power to wedge him in to the organization. In fact, there are reports, more than one, that the Lakers told other teams to not draft him. You play the game. But the game has two outcomes, some positive, some negative. You'll be back.
The topic everybody wanted to talk about LeBron. But you got to look at those people in that video. This wasn't people that was biased against LeBron. These are his biggest supporters. Wendy Windhorst has wrote multiple books on LeBron. He followed LeBron since his high school career. He's one of LeBron's biggest advocates at ESPN, one of his biggest cheerleaders. Even he has a problem with this Bronny situation. When Wendy starts saying it's a problem, maybe you got to take a closer look at it. Those guys at Fox, Cho and I guess they call themselves the Authority now, right? They're LeBron's biggest cheerleaders too. Even they had to say, okay, enough, let's leave. And Colin is one of LeBron's biggest supporters. He calls LeBron the GOAT. Even he's rolling his eyes at LeBron. So these are not like your Skip Baylesses or your Bahami Jones, people who just critical of LeBron majority of the time. These are his biggest cheerleaders, and even they got to say, hey, enough is enough.
Bro, I don't see no cheerleaders now. That spoke about LeBron positive. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Getting off social media deal. Okay, why y'all don't advertise nobody else? Man? Every time LeBron do something, he can wipe his nose. Somebody got to LeBron. The man can't do that. That's how obsessed with it. That's how obsessed everybody is. Like he can't do nothing without negativity. The man can't play with his son. It's a problem. Down the future, when they make these documentaries about LeBron and Bronny, it's gonna be all praise to the Lord because he made that play happen. But why it's happening, there's nothing good to say about it. It don't matter. It don't matter how the boy got into the league. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's a good. The boy should have went to college. You understand that? But at the end of the day, you got opportunity to play with the dad, and then hey, I do my kid. Like, what's the big deal?
Well, I think the big deal started with Windhorst comments. Bronny saying he's not going to do the road games with the G League team.
He didn't
say that. This is just my opinion. He should have just stayed in college. 2, he came in the league because his dad is selfish, arrogant, and wanted to improve his legacy by drafting his son to the league. And look at that. They told teams don't draft him. Bronny and Rich Paul had this damn video a while ago saying, I just want to hear my name called. You know, I don't care where I go, I just want to hear my name called. So if that's the case, why are you telling people don't draft you? You know, LeBron, if you ever see this, you know, LeBron is so much worried about being the GOAT that he's going to sacrifice his son to try to be the GOAT. And no matter what LeBron does, he can have his son. Got them Bryson coming in the league and play with both of them. He can have every point, every rebound, every assist. He can be first in every category. He will never be the GOAT. One thing LeBron did top Jordan in, I give LeBron credit. One thing he did top Jordan in is the stranglehold franchise. Even though Jordan owned the Bobcats and later the Hornets, LeBron, he owned the Cavs. Sorry, Dan Gilbert. LeBron ran the show in Cleveland. Now, I disagree with Colin. He didn't have his way in Miami. Pat Riley is one of the first people to tell LeBron no, which is why he left Miami. But right now, LeBron James is the owner, the GM, and he is the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. He's a tyrant. He's a dictator. And it's abomination that he did.
Don't ride the back coattail once he retired like y'all did Kobe. Because they did Kobe the same way. Nobody like Kobe when he played. Y'all, people started liking Kobe. Oh, man, when he did that 61-point retirement game, everybody got on his coattail like, oh, man, we been riding from the beginning, man. But no, y'all wasn't. Y'all calling this man a fake Jordan. He'll never be Jordan. He a Jordan imitator, but as soon as the man retired, everybody on his coattail. They about to do LeBron the same way, trust me. Like, dude, it's about to happen. Maybe you might not change your mind about the guy. I'm telling you, when this guy retired, trust me, watch out everybody.
The difference between LeBron and Kobe, a lot of people didn't like Kobe, but they respected Kobe with a respectable hate. Kobe, you can't respect LeBron. LeBron is a dictator. He doesn't take any accountability. He throws his teammates under the bus. And look at it, how he got poor Jimmy Butler. Look how he got poor Jimmy Butler in the stranglehold. Okay, it's not enough that you bring in all the players you want. Okay, it's not enough that you give all the free agents you want in the GM control. Okay, not only do I want you to draft my son, but I want you to bring in my buddy from my podcast to be my head coach. What other player outside of Aaron Rodgers and LeBron James had this control over a franchise earlier?
You're missing the point. I'm saying that what did these people demanded? What did he just said LeBron run the Lakers, right? Like all these athletes run the team that they going to. This man Caleb Williams said he ain't going to the pass unless he get a part owner stake in the team. Who says that coming out of him? You know what I'm saying?
But did he get it though?
He didn't get it. But at the end of the day, look at Lamar Jackson, how he got his deal. He got a deal by himself. He ain't even had no damn agent. And got $250 million out of Baltimore. Because you know what I'm saying? You got these guys coming in, man. Giannis told the Bucks, if his brother can't stay, he gone. But nah, everybody looking at LeBron and say LeBron is the one. Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't be saying that. Everybody dictating these sports now.
The difference between LeBron, Greg said it earlier that Bronny is a high school player playing in the NBA. I think that was too polite. Bronny is a junior varsity player playing in the NBA. He only deserved to play in college He wasn't even the best player on that Sierra Canyon team in high school. And I think Ryan Clark said this earlier in the week. He hasn't been the best player on any team he's played on. If it wasn't for the last name James, he wouldn't have been on any of those teams. That's the only difference. You put Dennis out there, Dennis can play on another roster. You know,
Dennis can't do shit.
my whole point with LeBron is he doing this out in entire selfishness for his legacy. He's so desperate to be the GOAT that I went up Jordan.
It's not even about the GOAT status. What are you talking about?
It is a GOAT status. It's all about his legacy.
Why you putting Jordan in the situation? Jordan's sons can never play with him.
If Jordan wanted his sons drafted, they would have been drafted. Jeffrey and
LeBron wanted so bad for him to play with his son. He wasn't really thinking about his son.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I can agree with that, man. I'm just BS. Like, the whole situation, man, with Bronny, I feel like Bronny should have made his own decision as a man, you know what I'm saying? Despite what LeBron wanted, you know what I'm saying? And even LeBron I said he didn't want to do it, but then when the time came, he kind of pushed for it. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Bronny should have took his own path, especially with holding the same name as, you know what I'm saying? I just felt like you already were going to come into the league holding that name. You know what I'm saying? Even if you wasn't drafted this year, like later on, if you would have completed his 4 years of college or whatever and got drafted, he still would have carried that. You know what I'm saying? And the drama would have still been there, but it wouldn't have never been this. And I feel like, you know, LeBron did put in a bad situation, man. Man. So now he got to deal with it. And man, hopefully he can adjust to it, bro.
He's selfish, man, to do his son like that. Worry about his
Bronny's still under his father's wing. He's still like a teenager, even though he's 20. He's still kind of like high school mentality. He still lives under his parents. He's kind of, I mean, LeBron controls him. So he has to do whatever his dad wants.
But the only thing positive you can say out is he gonna be with his dad. His dad is gonna protect him. But you're throwing him in the fire. So what's the point of protecting him? You don't want throwing him in the fire. You don't want throwing him in the deep end. This ain't teaching him to swim for his own good. He did it for selfish reasons. I'm gonna stand on it. LeBron, when you retire, the league will be celebrating because they done with one time. He's the last.
Only you gonna be celebrating. But at the end of the day, man, I do agree with Ryan Clark said, man. He did not grind, and he need to put the grind himself and earn his. You know what I'm saying? And, okay, we understand how you got drafted, but what are you gonna do now? You in the G League? You need to make a name for yourself. We understand you LeBron James, but you still got to put in the work, bro. You cannot just say, "Oh, this is my dad," and I'm on the team, and you not doing nothing. Like you gotta put in that work, man, to make a name for yourself. You already got there. Unfortunately, these guys, you took a few guys' spots. You know what I'm saying? That took that 55th spot. But at the end of the day, you got now. The game is already gone. What you gonna do for yourself to make yourself a better basketball? Like ignore the noise. Forget your last name, James. Like what are you gonna do for yourself?
And look at Pippen Jr. Pippen Jr. did it. He paid his dues, and right now
he's playing good. He's doing better than that.
Yep. But I guess that wraps up the show, Bubba Cast Nation. We're out of time. You know, we're gonna have more special guests on, more special correspondence, more topics, more new format going forward. You know, want to say again, happy Thanksgiving to those watching. And for your boy, Professor D.
Big money.
Take care, guys.
All right.
All right, great, man.
All right.
Take it.
The Bubblecast is proudly made in the great state of Georgia.